Wow, it's cold looking and gray. That's Florida, T-Rex. At the beach in Florida, it's worse than New England today. You're patient, Rex. I asked Steve to put his leash on, and he kind of pretended like he almost wanted to put his leash on. I'll do it. All right, there we go. We're ready. Right, T-Rex? Are we ready? Yep. Jump once, twice, 3 times. We're ready. He's ready. Steve? He's ready. TK? Let's check the temperature. 44 at 10 a.m. Either my thermometer is wrong or... Oh, and look at the barometer. 30.42 and steady. 10/19, October 19. 2 days after the full moon. See, my thermometer's kind of hanging right up in the corner here, and the air is not moving, and it was chilly last night, so it could be just a pool of residual cool on that thermometer sensor, or it may need a reboot. Either way, it's gorgeous. How's your day going so far? I'm a little under the weather. You can tell maybe I got a bit of a cold, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna go surfing or not. I just showed that video from Florida where it is so windy and it looks cold. It's probably in the 70s with the water temperature in the 70s. Here we are going to be 70, but our water temperature is 57. Look at that smog on the horizon. See that dirty air? We're looking laterally through the lower 100 feet of the atmosphere when, on a cool night with high barometer, the air sinks and settles, and without any wind, the emissions, that's pollution right there, that's smog. So other than a beautiful blue sky, we have some smog. And we also have a lot of things going on around this weekend. Boats are coming out. The docks are going to be coming out at Wessagusset. You see someone flying a banner there over Boston. It's the head of the Charles Regatta weekend, and what a day for it. I can just feel the air moving a little bit. All right, we're gonna pursue Steve. Come on, Steve. We get so much to talk about. Here's another thermometer. Let's double check. All right, that makes more sense. This one says 51. We may have had a frost last night. I don't know. I didn't get up early enough, but the grass is definitely all wet, and the temperature even, pardon me, he's beeping the horn. The temperature this morning at, what was it, pretty close to 9 o'clock was still only 32 degrees in Morrisville, Vermont, where it got down to 28. In the valleys, the much colder, more dense air sank in. Boston was 52 and a light breeze, and Worcester, Massachusetts at 1,000-foot elevation was 61 degrees. So the tops of the hills were warmer, but the mountains were even warmer than that. The Mount Washington Auto Road, it had 63 degrees at 4,000 feet. So Ryan Knapp was riding up the Auto Road, and he says it's warm up here. It looks, there's snow on the ground, but the temperature's near 50 where he was. This is the last morning where we're going to see snow pictures like this. The image from Wildcat looking over at Mount Washington. The snow is getting pretty bony, isn't it? And that's melting. I think by tomorrow that's going to be just rock again. And look at the resilience of the snow cover at Jay Peak Resort in northern Vermont. Wow, that was good base material. But you know, good base material, when it falls on October 14 and 15, is not long for this world. Oh, speaking of 14 and 15, while it's on my mind, the 14th named tropical storm of the season formed last night just east of the Yucatan Peninsula on the border of Guatemala and Mexico, and that's going inland today, so that's not going to become a hurricane, but we have the 14th named storm there, Nadine, a big rainmaker. And just to the north of the Dominican Republic, that system we've been tracking off of Africa for more than a week, with the potential development going from 70% to 30% to 20% to 10%, is now back up to 90%. So it looks like we're going to have Tropical Storm Oscar, moving slowly toward the Bahamas and only slowly intensifying. That'd be the 15th named storm of the season. And I think the prediction was for 23 named storms, so it's pretty much a lock that that's not going to happen. But it's been a brutal hurricane season because of how they've impacted the United States. The most landfalling hurricanes really in the United States since I think 1886. So it has happened before. What am I going to do today? Well, I may try and track the docks coming out and heading over to Bert's boatyard, or I may not go into the head of the Charles. 30 years ago, I would have gone over to the head of the Charles. Not because I'm a rower, because it's a lot of fun hanging around in Boston when the head of the Charles is going on. Am I going to go surfing? Yeah, there's a pretty good shot. I'm not feeling that good, but it's so beautiful. And here's what it looked like at Hampton Beach, Cinnamon Rainbows. It's about 50 people in the water there between 9 and 10 o'clock. And now the tide's coming in, so the tide's not exactly right. It's high tide early in the afternoon. And there's also down on our beach, right down here, George Lane Beach, there's a beautiful gathering scheduled for this afternoon. And I call it beautiful because there's a lot of love. It's called the Water Lantern Festival, and I think it's going to be our 3rd annual at George Lane Beach. And the participants come from all around, all ages and all nationalities, and write messages of peace and hope and remembrance in a lot of cases on the lanterns that they build. They construct the lanterns. You have to buy a ticket to get the lantern, and otherwise you can just walk down there, and there's going to be music and a lot of love coming to Weymouth today. A lot of crowd too. What a gorgeous day. Last year you saw there people wearing heavy jackets. This year lighter layers. We're going for 70 degrees today with this light wind. We're probably going to have a sea breeze developing here, and as the tide goes out, maybe the sea breeze will turn around, so those lanterns will just be floating gently. All right, so let's see what else. Surf, ski is done. The snow is melting. Weather, oh yes, let's do the weather. Here's the Boston 5-day. Looking at the temperature today, still just in the lower 60s around Boston, but I think inland we're going to hit 70 after starting off in the upper 20s this morning. That's a great rebound. And the dew point is still low enough that tonight we are going to radiate again. So in the valleys, we're going to get down into the 40s and 30s, maybe some upper 20s, but the urban heat island effect should keep places like Boston well into the 40s, and the hills tomorrow morning are going to be around 60 again. So this what was record cold high pressure is now rebounding and turning into not quite record warm, but definitely warming at all levels of the atmosphere. This high is pretty much stuck right over us, stalled. We're in the good part of a block. I'm getting a lot of questions. What do all those lines mean? What is an isobar? What is a thickness line? Let's show the surface map this morning with the 1032 millibar H high pressure system. It's the metric system, and so pressure is the amount of weight of the air on your shoulders, and colder air is more dense, and sinking air, it creates high pressure. The combination of sinking air and high pressure makes for this beautiful weather. T-Rex, trying to explain pressure gradient. And as for thickness, those red lines and those blue lines that we talk about, the thickness has to do with how much distance it is from the surface of the atmosphere. Call it maybe an average of about 1,000 millibars. And as you go up in the atmosphere, the pressure gets lower. 900, 800, 700, 600, 500 millibars is up around 18,000 feet. So to measure that distance, they use the metric system in meters, and they call it decameters. So as I show these maps, I'm going to show you the blue lines and the red lines, and the distance between the 1,000 millibar and the 500 millibar is thickness, and the colder the air, the lower that thickness. So smaller numbers mean a colder air mass, and the higher numbers mean a warmer air mass. So in the summertime, 570 thickness means we could be 90 degrees, and in the wintertime, 540
millibars means it could be cold enough for snow. And this week when it was snowing in New England, we got to 534 millibars. So we're doing some meteorology. As the weather is quiet, why not explain the science? And then let's show the satellite image of the east. And the old storm from yesterday is sinking south toward Bermuda, and there's nothing but sunshine all the way from the Gulf of Mexico up into southeastern Canada. And we have a stalled high pressure system. I think I'm going to show the Euro first over the tropical sector, and it's all red lines and black lines here, isobars and thickness up around 570, so that's all warm air. And I want to show the system that was south of New England yesterday at the top of the map there, sinking to the south near Bermuda. And notice how it kind of retrogrades towards the west, and at the same time just north of the Hispaniola and heading into Cuba. That would be potential tropical cyclone Oscar. And then that energy from near Bermuda and Oscar, if it does form, kind of merge right over the Bahamas, not quite making it into Florida, good news, and then turning back to the north and east. So that's going to be a non-item for most of us, but it will count as a named storm. That's probably going to happen in the next 48 hours. So that map took you into about Monday or Tuesday. Now let's change to the perspective where we can see the northern United States and southern Canada. And I'm not going to talk about new snow. Yesterday there was thunder snow at the Arizona Snow Bowl near Flagstaff. Yeah, it snowed in Arizona. Those storms are split, and half of them are going across southern Canada, and the other half are going slowly into Texas. And here in the Northeast, we have ridging at all levels of the atmosphere, stalled ridging, high pressure. Ridging is high pressure, troughing is low pressure. And that means just beautiful weather here. A little bit of a backdoor front with a tightening of the gradient Monday and Tuesday. It is going to become more breezy, first from the northwest and then northeast in Boston. So the temperature may come down a few degrees here on Tuesday. And then the reason for that is a low going north of us, and then that low is going away, and we're still left with high pressure here until about Thursday. Okay, now I've been stopping the map every time in these forecasts I do out the door. I've been stopping it on Thursday, several days in a row, because it's interesting on Thursday, and it's pretty much the same as yesterday. And I can explain those lines. The black lines are the isobars, so you can see the kink in the isobars, wind from the southwest ahead of a front. The green is rain. The blue line there is 540. That is cold enough for snow, so rain may end as some snow showers. And then the 546, that's the warmer side. And then the red lines increase to the south, 552, 558, and so on. They go in 60 decameter increments. And that's the warm air being pushed out of here for a day or two. And then on the backside, the colder air, 534, 528. Again, 60 decameter increments. That's colder air coming in, but only briefly. That front's going to keep on moving. And so next Thursday, Friday, it starts warming up again. We'll put it back in motion. And now, wait, what's going on here? I got to stop at Saturday. So this is a new change. So the Thursday front looks like just a passing shower and then nice weather. But now Saturday, the front stalls south of us, and there's a low developing on it, and there's a new front coming at us from southeastern Canada. And though it looks mostly quiet in New England, you can't really make it out, but there's a little circle there south of Block Island. That's about 1,016 millibar low, a very weak low. And the rain showers there from Connecticut to Cape Cod. So this is a new thing that has not been in the forecast. So we're going to have to watch next Saturday. The Southern New England Weather Conference next Saturday. Harvey Leonard is the host. I'll be there. That's at Meditech, and you can sign up for that at the bluehill.org website. That's next Saturday. And usually when all the weathermen get together, something interesting happens. All right, Steve's a little stuck right here. I'll get back to that in a second. I just want to free up Steve from how I contain him by putting his loop around whatever I can. Machete, chair. Tomatoes on the ground will be picked up, and the good ones will be put in the salad, and the other ones will be going to seed. And now Steve is free to go back over here and join T-Rex, and we can rejoin our weather forecast already in progress. So next Saturday, that wild card, just a chance of a shower, put it back into motion next Sunday. I think it's still a pretty good looking quiet weekend. And then get into Monday the 27th into Tuesday the 28th, and then there's a bunch of energy in southeastern Canada with a chance of going back towards showery and cooler weather just in time for Halloween. Halloween now being, let's see, if today's the 19th, 13 days away. Yes. So pretty much just a quiet, beautiful pattern. And Steve is right now at the Cat Mint. Cat Mint. First I thought it was catnip. And yesterday I kept trying to say, I'm gonna make it an easy edit. And I kept saying, okay, this might be the last one. This might be the last one. So here's the Enmore. The weather part is done. The Enmore yesterday, we went down to the beach to see how high the tide was just after the full moon. And we saw the workers over there working on Wessagusset. And how many cormorants, how do you even say that word? Everyone tells me I say it wrong. Is it cormorant? Cormorant? There were thousands of birds over there on those docks. Guano City. And we're on break right now. So we did a little recalling when T-Rex was a little puppy. We took him walking down there, and it was 7 years ago. T-Rex is 7. And also up to Charlie's. Charlie, we saw him on the sailboat last week. Charlie is a tinkerer, and he's an inventor, and he loves antique cars, and we caught him putting a new liner on the roof of this Chevy. Wow, Charlie, that is so impressive. And the colors of autumn. So you get your burning bushes and your birches and all the different colors coming on. So it's kind of just a walk around North Weymouth yesterday. Oh yes, and T-Rex and I went to the barber. I got my hair cut, and T-Rex got treats. And Chris has a little toy Tyrannosaurus Rex that you can turn on, and Rex and the T-Rex going at it yesterday. So that's our Enmore, right through about sunset. When Mitt said, okay, if you're not going to get me an agent, I will come out just for a few minutes, but until you get me an agent, funny, talking about the comments we get, Mitt needs an agent. Yeah, he does. Mitt comes out, he's on his own schedule. All right, so as I said, these videos not for people in a hurry. Here we are at 17 minutes. Hope you're enjoying the beauty shots and the little meteorology lesson and a nice weekend. Maybe we'll see you down at the Lantern Festival. All right, talk to you in 24 hours. Midday walk, beautiful blue sky. T-Rex coming on down to the shelf where it's high tide right now with the full moon. You get some marsh flood and high tide. It's also a good time to work on taking your docks apart and putting them away for the winter. So that project has begun over here at Wessagusset. Probably float them out tomorrow would be my guess. Where'd you go? You blend in with the leaves. Look at these sticks. It's kind of fun. I used to play games like this when I was a kid in the woods. I'm not sure who's doing that. Kids play in the woods anymore? This is where we've got Rex right down here at this beach. Time to walk along this little seawall here. He's just like 5 months old. All right. What kind of bird is that? Pretending to be injured. Couple hours later, still working on the docks. We get some sailing going on, and we've got a very crowded breakwater there. What are those? Those cormorants? The migration. They're on break right now. Look at them all. We'll catch these in flight. We were just on the way to the barber shop. When I saw those birds, I had to pull over. Some images. He's always got stuff coming out of his eyes. What's going on with that, Rex?
He's coming over to show off. Showing off, so I thought it was weird. Oh, he's in. Joseph. Oh.
covered the opening of Beals Park a couple months ago, the skate park. I didn't come down here. There's a sledding hill, and I did not realize it, but we get pickleball. I'm sure this is probably a secret spot. Look at that. Gorgeous. Oh no, missing cat. Gizmo, very skittish. Tabby cat, green eyes, wearing camouflage harness, lost around post office, C Street, North Weymouth. It's right here. Let's go find Gizmo. T-Rex won't let me go to the barber shop without him because he knows that Chris is so nice.
He knows where the second mommy is, honey.
Get the space heater going.
There it is.
And there's actually another T-Rex in here that would bother T-Rex a lot if we activated it.
Oh, that's
That's T-Rex.
the original.
And maybe we'll save that for later. Rex, I think Chris has got fluid.
I have nothing.
Come over here. Rex, are you gonna take this? Take him down. You're bigger than he is. Take him. He doesn't smell like anything. He doesn't smell like a T-Rex. Fun at the barber shop. Yay, aren't you glad we came?
Just you.
Did you turn on that heater this morning?
I did,
It
of
was
course. I
kinda
sure
chilly.
did.
Yeah, we don't get much sunshine in this north-facing.
Not on this side.
Nice view of the park. Everyone behaving themselves over there?
It's very busy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very busy over there.
You see anyone play pickleball yet?
Yeah, they're there every day in the morning.
Yeah.
Very early.
I'm sure the neighbors behind that house I love that.
Oh, it's loud. I'm shocked how loud it is.
And back to planes taking off toward the east. That might relax tomorrow. Love the colors of the burning bush as the sun gets low in the sky. I smell a wood stove. How do you think Charlie's keeping warm today?
Hello.
Oh, hello.
What's going on? Come in.
It's a pretty shiny Chevy.
Oh yes. It's coming along. It's
Wow,
gonna be
it's-
on the road one of these days.
Is it?
You see, I got it tucked on that side.
Wow.
I got it glued front and back.
Sweet.
I'm gonna stretch as best I can. There's a light in the middle there that will come out.
Oh, that's what that is. Right.
Yeah.
So you're a fabricator.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you just go to the fabric store and get this and cut it out?
I bought it. So it's kind of shaped like that.
Yeah.
It has that wing in the back, and it has all these. It has more than 5. It's like 8 of these bows.
And what about the pleating? Did you do the pleating?
No, the pleating is where the pockets go that you run the bow in, and the bow hooks up onto the ceiling.
Oh, of course, the bow.
The bow, you gotta have the bow.
Just past 4. I'm not feeling it today. I think I'm just gonna play this out with a time lapse and these pretty low light on the pumpkins and the chrysanthemums, and the time lapse showing the tide coming way in and then going way out. With a full moon, there was some marsh flooding, high tides today, and again this weekend. No, Steve got a new playpen, a box. Amazon brought him something new. Let's just go out and it. What was that? Rex is scared of Steve. Mitt says we gotta get in touch with his agent. I asked Mitt if he wanted to come out to be right in the end of the video today, and he said, call my agent.
Of course, I couldn't resist a little more. Sun just went down. We always come out in the backyard. T-Rex and Steve, and Mitt did make an appearance. His agent cleared him for a brief appearance. Had to bribe him with a little cat. Mitt. Steve. Say goodnight, everybody. Good night, everybody. Sounded like a cannon. Steve, why do you always look away from the camera when I want you to look at the camera?